Hey, my name is Yolanda, and welcome to Frank Factualities, the podcast. Tune in each week as I speak frankly about life experiences from my perspective and offer you a bit of unsolicited advice. Let's take a little time to laugh, to think, and to cry as we tackle some serious topics and some not so serious topics. Be sure you subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Hey, welcome to Frank Factualities, the podcast. My name is Yolanda. Thank you for tuning into my show for another week and joining me for another episode. How's everyone doing? I hope all is well. I am doing just fine. This past weekend, my son and I drove out to Atlanta for I think it's his 4th annual podcast festival. I want to say it's the 4th annual. This would be my 2nd time attending the podcast festival. And I must say, each time is a different experience. So the first time my husband and I went, I didn't really know what to expect. So I showed up really hoping to observe. If I'm being honest, I just wanted to observe. I did want to do the pitch my podcast. I did that. This time, okay, so let's back up. The first time we went out there, you can tell that it just rained. So it wasn't hard rain, it was just a light rain, but it already happened. So it may have happened like 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Of course, when we got there, it's like 10. And so it's sand on the outside of the actual like barn building that the podcast shows are being held in. But outside, there's the food trucks and it's other vendors set up out there, like Picture Podcast is outside, as well as like the radio station iHeart, the network there from Atlanta. So it's people and things out there. So the ground was a little wet, and so my toes got really sandy because I wore open toes. So I was like, okay, I know what it is, and outside is sand, so let me wear sneakers. But I bought some new sneakers because I was like, oh, I don't have a white pair of sneakers. Everything that I have is low key kind of dark and matches like the colors of my school, if I'm being honest. So it's like, yeah, I want to get something that can match an everyday outfit. So I wore my brand new shoes. Now, it wasn't raining when we got there this year, but it was scheduled to rain. And I knew that. So I took my little mini umbrella that could fit in my little clear purse that I always take to any venue that I'm unsure whether or not I can bring a big bag. So I took my little clear bag, shoulder purse, not shoulder, it's like a crossbody. Anyway, I took it and my little mini thing. So it got windy and it got wet. And the sand, I mean, my shoes were white and they ended up being tan at the end. So it really messed my sneakers up. And because of that, I wasn't comfortable going in the Picture Podcast line because it's usually a line. Although I would have had first dibs because I bought the Ultimate Fan tickets. The first time I went, I had those. And then this time with my son, I bought the same ticket. So you get to arrive early and you do the meet and greet with Charlemagne. So the gates don't open until 11, but you're there at 10. And because we were the first ones in line, we got done with our pictures pretty early. So I could have just stood there in the Picture Podcast line and been first. I think this is why I didn't go and pitch my podcast again this year, because I feel like if you're entering something, you should enter it each time because it may not have been your year, but that doesn't mean that you can't win or get heard or seen the next time. But I had to be honest with myself, and I was talking to you all about that last episode, really about listening to constructive criticism and hearing what people have to say and me taking heed to what my stylist had said to me. And once I started listening, because it was windy at first, but once I realized that I wasn't ready after doing the first one, and when I say I wasn't ready at the podcast festival, they were talking, if you've made it to 100 episodes, like you're doing amazing. I'm over 200. I've been consistent. I post weekly. So I know that I got that on lock. But I will say that I don't always give you all my best work, and I do apologize about that. I don't always come prepared. Consistency has its drawbacks, and that's one of them. If you're going to post every week, I feel like sometimes I'm not prepared, but I am committed to doing what I said I was going to do, which is releasing a show every Thursday. And in doing that, sometimes I compromise the quality of the show because I don't have a map, a blueprint of what I'm going to discuss. And when I first started, I did a whole lot better with that. But it was fresh and it was new and I had great ideas. And then now it's like, okay, I have over 200 episodes. What is it that I haven't talked about. And I want to co-host really bad because I am really funny, but I know sometimes it doesn't come across that way because I am conversationally funny. So I need banter. I need a back and forth. And I think I'm struggling with that, but I learned a lot in that I need to be ready. I need to have my one-liner when somebody asks me what my podcast is about and why did I start a podcast, because a lot of the panel discussions were talking about what is your why. Don't aim for the money in podcasting and looking for sponsors and advertisements, but why did you start your podcast? What did you start it for? And ultimately, and what was your end goal? And if you are a loyal listener, you know that I originally started this podcast because I want to be a motivational speaker. I want to be on panels. I want to give my opinion and talk about some of the things that I've experienced in my life. Number one, because I feel as though it's not a lot of voices like mine who are authentically honest, who is intellectually honest. I think a lot of times people are afraid to tell their truth because of embarrassment and shame, and I don't possess that quality, okay? Number two, I want to help people by giving them my examples of what I did to get out of the things that I was in so that it provides them with hope. So the whole purpose of the podcast was to give people hope that, you know what, just because I'm going through this thing or just because I've been through this thing doesn't mean that I can't overcome it. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to move past it. Doesn't mean that I still can't do the things that I want to do. But I hate when people would always tell me, "Oh, get over yourself," or "It's going to be fine. You're going to make it. You'll get through this." But I always had the question of how, and no one would share their story with me or give me instructions as to how I can get over this, or like what I got to do. So I wanted to tell my stories to be like, this is what I did. This is how I went about it, with hopes to help. But me trying to put that in a one-liner to be like, okay, yeah, it's about this, blah, blah, blah. I'm struggling with that. Even though I feel like I'm like a wordsmith, I like poetry, I like those things. But for some reason, I have a hard time describing myself, and I have a hard time like bigging myself up or giving myself props in that type of like format or platform. So anyway, it was eye-opening. So not to say I would never do pitch my podcast again. I will. But next time I'll be more prepared. And the next time I'll know my purpose. And the next time I will have everything mapped out in why I wanted to do the podcast and what it's truly about, and give y'all 100% of me every time I come on here. So that's what I did for the weekend. I'm actually recording on an off night. So if I sound off, that's what it is, because y'all know me. So I'm recording on a Tuesday instead of Wednesday. And why am I doing it on a Tuesday? Because I'm pulling out a piece of paper here so I won't forget my phone number. But I'm doing it because I have something at work on Wednesday night, and I didn't want to, again, give y'all shitty, tired behind banter, and then you'd be like, what is that, Yolanda? So I decided to do it on an earlier night so that I can be a little bit more focused and intentional. And also, I had a plan for today, but not so much so as a written out, let me put my bullet points down, because I got to rant because I'm shitting. And I'll tell y'all why in just a second. But I also wanted to mention that in this new season, I wanted to open up lines of communications. They also shared at the podcast festival how you can engage with your listeners, and by doing email lists and all these other things. And these are things that I'm definitely going to look into. Well, I also recommend you all to reach out to me anytime you would like. My phone number is country code 1, area code 803-997-0846. You can call me at any time, send me a message if you have a suggestion of a topic, if you have a situation you want me to review and give my opinion on. If you want to make the show, you can call me between the hours, any day actually, between 7 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is my segment for Factuality Fix. Haven't had any DMs in a minute, but if you guys want to send a direct message through any of my social media channels, feel free to do so. And you can also just send me an email at frankfactualities@gmail.com. And I would love to talk to you all, because that's one of my biggest struggles. It's like, I feel like the longer I've been doing this, I'm talking to myself. And yes, I know that I have listeners, but there's no face or people to the listener, right? So you don't really know who it is. Sometimes you don't get a pull of like, okay, do y'all want to hear more of this type of rhetoric? Do you want to hear more of these type of topics? So I would love to know who my audience is, and for you guys to provide feedback. And I welcome the anonymous. Y'all can be anonymous if you want to, but it would be good to know the type of things that you want to hear from me, and more topics on this particular thing. You get what I'm saying? That would be really helpful for me, to help me with my mini episodes that I do enjoy doing with you all. So Anyway, let's get straight into street talk.
Yeah, what's going on? Let me know.
Now, there's one thing that I couldn't wait to get on this podcast and talk about, and that's Meg Thee Stallion. So the news came out actually while we were sitting in the audience at the podcast festival, and my son leans over. He's like, "Ma, Meg and Clay is not together anymore." And so I'm like, "What?" And I couldn't read. I was living in the moment. Like I don't really record when I'm out places. Like I saw so many of my favorite social media creators, but in the moment I just couldn't remember like their Instagram name, and I might follow them on one page but not the other, but I know their faces. I know everybody's face, and I never forget who someone is. So I was really just talking to them, and one of the girls, and y'all know her name, and it's Chanel. That's her name, Chanel. Chanel is the girl who she does the videos about her hair. She talks about like her 2-inch hair. She went viral for trying to curl her hair like Tiana Taylor, and then Tiana Taylor came over to do her hair. So I saw her, and my son and I were literally, and I'm gonna get back to Meg, y'all. I'm going on a rant here. I saw her we were at a vendor's table who was selling clothes, and I knew my son wanted to check out the clothes. So she was there checking out the clothes too. So she was like, "Oh my God, I love your complexion. You're so pretty, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Oh my God, I love you." And she was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, you didn't think anybody was going to notice you? You just walking around?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "You're not used to that, huh?" She's like, "Yeah, why didn't you say anything?" And I didn't say, and then my son was like, "Well, Mom, why didn't you get a picture?" But the conversation was so natural, and I felt like saying, "Can I get a selfie?" just seems so like, but she would have been down for it. I promise you she would. I don't know the gentleman's name because it's going to slip my mind, but he's dark skinned. He always wears his braids cornrow back. He's really tall and he's dark skinned. He's always talking about the celebrity news. I normally see him on Facebook, on my Facebook, that is, not necessarily on Instagram. I saw him, and I want to say his name is Kerr. I could be wrong. His last name starts with a G, but he's a therapist, dark-skinned fella, really good therapist. And he always talks about his 2 children. He has a wife, and he's usually talking about that, but he gives fathers and just people in general. I saw him and his wife there as well. I waited to actually take a picture with the 2 of them, but there was somebody else ahead kind of talking to them who had just taken a picture, and they were taking kind of long, and it looked really odd for me to be standing there, and I felt like, okay, now I look really weird, so I just walked off. But it was good seeing those people. So anyway, back to Clay and Megan. Oh my God, all of the blogs and everybody has been on fire. Not just the girls, all of the guys. I mean, from sports blogs to the hip hop ones to just regular creators like me. When I say everybody is talking about it, everybody's talking about it. But let me tell you why my pressure is up about the situation. And I have my own opinion, and I always tell you guys, if I'm going to give my opinion, I feel like I got to bring a different perspective because everybody is talking about it. And number one, I want to say that I stand by women typically 98% of the time. It's only a rare 2% that I'd be like, "Oh, I don't know, she probably messed that up." You know what I mean? So, and the reason I say that is because I am a woman. I'm going to relate as a woman first and foremost. So there's typically not a time that I get mad at a woman, even if that said woman is messing with my man, to be honest with you, because I feel like, well, she clearly liked him for the same reason I did. And if he been lying and running game to me, then I'm sure he been lying and running game to her. So I can't blame her for falling for the same game that I fell for. But I can be mad at that man for running game on me and having me to think that I was the only one. So when a woman says that they've been cheated on, who gives a fuck? Excuse my language, y'all. What she did prior to, what type of sexual life that she had. The fact that men are out there talking about, "Oh, but she messed with all of these dudes." You don't think Clay knew that prior to getting with her? Just like you knew it. You regular, smegular, degular nigga. You don't think that Clay knew that Megan had been with Tory Lanez and she had been with the baby and he knows that stuff too. And yet he still chose to make her his girlfriend. And yet he still chose to move in with her. And yet he still chose to go public with her, which he's rarely gone public with many women in his past. And yet he still chose to bring her around his mama and daddy and had her cooking for them and letting her film him every 2 seconds in every single video she made. So at the end of the day, he made a choice to be with said woman that y'all said I had all these partners. Meanwhile, I think the count was like 9, the last little meme that I seen. Meanwhile, your baby mama done smashed 50 of your homies in the same neighborhood. Get over yourself, all the way over yourself. That girl's business is out because she don't care to put her business out. And if you're a Megan fan, she tells you she a freak and she likes sex. So now the moment a woman is honest with you niggas, and yes, I'm saying the N-word a lot, y'all. I'm sorry, but I'm pissed. My pressure up. The moment a woman is honest, it comes back to bite her. And because then now all of a sudden you want to throw it in her face as if she ain't been the one to tell you that's what she about in the first place. And why can't she be sexually fluid? Especially if I'm being open with you about that. You choose to mess with me or not. That's your prerogative. If you choose to mess with me, then fuck off. Same thing with your homeboys or anybody else that got an opinion about it. You get to choose whether or not you want to mess with a girl that you call a hoe. And if you choose to mess with her, then yes, she can be hurt just like somebody. Well, this was actually Ross. You guys know Ross. He's a friend to the show. I told him he was getting my pressure up because he was just like, yeah, Clay cheated on her. Y'all acting like he cheated on Mother Teresa. Well, Mother Teresa has her right to be hurt, but Meg has a right to be hurt too, because it's not about how many men Megan slept with and that she doesn't have a right to feel hurt if she was cheated on. It's the fact that you said you wanted to settle down with me. If you never told me you wanted to settle down with me, then why would I be upset? But because he was playing house, as she stated, yes, I'm going to be upset. How many partners I slept with ain't got nothing to do with my feelings. What I got to do with anything? And then Charlamagne on the Breakfast Club says, oh, well, they ain't been together that long. It's not like they married it. As if our feelings still don't get hurt. I think that when you bring me around your family and you move me in, or we move together, then the logic says to any woman that the next step is marriage. So no matter how many men she slept with, that doesn't mean that she already ain't sold her wild oats. So let me go ahead and tell y'all dudes something, because we women know this to be true. If just like y'all, if we don't go through what y'all call the whole stage, she gonna get married and she gonna be smashing everybody that smile at her. Let women do what they do. We know how to be safe, unlike you all. It's not like we be smashing it. I ain't saying now, let's be clear. I know there are women who have multiple kids by multiple baby daddies, but y'all way more reckless than us when it comes to unprotected sex and out here smashing everybody. And yes, y'all body counts are always going to be higher than ours. Leave that girl alone. Not to mention she lost her mama and her daddy. So now imagine how she felt having her own little small immediate family with the mother, father, and her man, and cooking for her little family. After going through everything that she's been through, of course she's hurt. The gall of you all to just be like, oh my God, so what? She smashed everybody talking. They was talking before he got with her. He knew who she was. Y'all acting like this is some stranger and the world just exposed how many men that she had been with. Everybody knew this data. Why y'all sharing it now? And coming from somebody who's always been open and honest about my body count or people that I've been with any partner that I have, that's why I tell y'all, and my advice to y'all is never tell your business to no man, because they will throw it back up in your face instantly. Instantly. You have the right to remain silent, because anything you say and do can and will be used against you the minute you've been used and the people are against you. For real. That's how it works. So don't tell them. Don't ask, don't tell. You don't ask about their partners, and then they ain't gonna ask you about yours. But if they ask you, hey, just as many as you ain't had as many people as me. Maybe not, but that's not important. We're moving forward. At the end of the day, if you want to see the churn my chart, because I notice that that's what the young people do, then show you my chart. If you just want to know how many, because I want to make sure that I'm safe. It's other ways to do that than to tell somebody run down your line. Megan doesn't have the luxury as the women as we have, in that my relationships can be private. She is living her life through the world. But I don't like how y'all doing Megan, because y'all don't do Lori like that. Y'all say, oh, she done been with everybody. Y'all don't call her no hoe. Just because Megan publicly speaks about being a freak and sexually fluid, then y'all feel comfortable in calling her that. But y'all know Lori smashed them dudes, and she was even with Diddy. Y'all do not be as hard on her. Y'all don't be hard on Kim Kardashian. Y'all ain't hard on a lot of women that Mariah Carey, if we really want to go there. Like, there's a lot of women who have been with a lot of different, Madonna, for God's sakes. Like, it's a lot of women that got ties to a lot of dudes, but we just don't do that to them. But for some reason, everybody always want to give Megan a hard time. It just pisses me off, because to me, you can read certain people's demeanor, body language. Like, she comes across as a genuine person. The same reason why people like Cardi is the same reason why people like Megan, because they seem to be themselves. Now, there's still some people that don't like her because of the Tory situation. But again, we get our feelings involved in things that we really don't have the truth to. We have no idea what happened at that night in the car. We can all speculate based on the evidence that was leaked, the evidence that was given, the evidence from the court. But at the end of the day, don't nobody know that except for Megan, Tory, and that girl, and the security bodyguard or whomever that was out there that night. And that's all that know the truth. I'm not gonna sit here and defend or go against anything that I ain't been privy to. If I ain't see it, then I don't know. I can only give my opinion, and that's all it is. But y'all be getting your pressure up about these situations. But please stop doing women like that. That is so unfortunate. And what you fail to realize is them same goody two-shoe girls that y'all think is just too cool, too good. They just, that's the type of woman you married. They was hoes, okay? They was hoes. The problem is y'all mad at the women who've been sleeping with men that tell y'all. Y'all rather have somebody that lie to y'all, because that's what's happening. And trust me, the women around you know. We always know the business. And let me go ahead and say that right now. You know why we know the business? All of Meg's business got out because of a nigga. It ain't got out because of a woman. They were party told the business about her messing with her producer. He told the business the baby told the business about her. Like, everybody, the business get out about women because of y'all niggas. Y'all run your mouth. Everything that I know about a woman right now came from another man. Okay. And it came about a woman who everybody think, all the women who think that they don't have, nobody knows their business. Everybody know y'all business, because the dudes y'all pillow talk with the next girl that they get with. And now he done told her your business and done told her your business, because that's how the saga goes. So before you think you got one up on the chick, trust me, the next chick got one up on you, because she know your business just like you know hers, or somebody else know your business just like you done told somebody else's. And that's how the stuff go around. So then y'all got to stop running y'all mouth, because that's how the business get out. But then y'all don't tell y'all business. But we find it out anyway. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the girls that y'all think ain't doing nothing be the main hoes. Seriously. I mean bad hoes. That's it. They just don't talk about it. And they dress conservative, so you don't think nothing. Oh, I would never wear those little shorts. They got their little shirts button up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll never forget, I had this guy that I work with. Well, I didn't really work with him. I loosely worked with him. Let me say that he had to come around my job based on the job that he did. And there was a woman at my job that, in my opinion, just would never, like, I don't even talk like this. And I'm vulgar. All right. And he was just like, yeah, I know you think she's, goody too or whatever. But every time I come here, she whispers in my ear, let me suck your dick. Oh, I just want to come on you. I just want you to, put your hands on my ass. And I was shocked. And he was like, yeah, she was doing it right in front of you. And I'm like, you lying. And I just don't, that person just never talks that way. I never see that in that person. I had no idea. But and I'm saying we, ain't me now, because I don't lie. But women, some, will actually play that innocent role because they want to come across as this goody too. But deep down, they just as nasty and freaky as everybody else that's just open about it. That's not fair. You know what I'm saying? Y'all claim y'all want honesty, and then when a woman is honest, then all of a sudden she got to be called names. Meanwhile, the women who ain't being honest about it doing way worse than her. Seriously? Y'all just don't know. Niggas don't know how to read no female. Like, y'all always get it wrong. Y'all always get it wrong. Meg might have only messed with them 9 dudes. That might be her total body count in her life. Like, let's say that. Let's say like Meg was, when she was with her mom and her mom managed her, she just wasn't giving it out. And when her mom died, she just was like, fuck life. And just started smashing everybody she came across in the industry. And for all y'all know, that's been them 9 people. And yet, again, the girl in your neighborhood around the corner done smashed 50. But all of a sudden, Meg a hoe because you only know about this 9, and the 9 just happened to be during the time she been going through something crazy. Frankly, the fact of the matter is, stop judging people especially people who are being transparent and who are being honest with you about who they are. I hate that with a passion. And people will play in your face and make you appear to be a person that you're not, when all you've done is been open and honest about it. You get a choice to either take it or leave it. If I am telling you who I am up front and you make a choice to deal with me, then you're going to have to deal with me. And you don't get to in the back end say I ain't shit, because you made a promise to me and you broke the promise. And now all of a sudden, because of my past, I'm a fucked up individual. No, when men get in a relationship with women, they promise us monogamy. Y'all are never telling us, well, yeah, I'm gonna move you in, but sometimes I'm going to want to sleep with other people. That's not what you're doing. You're saying like, yes, I see a future with us. Yes, I want to be with you. I don't see myself with nobody else. And then you love to say actions speak louder than words. Forget what he was saying. What was he doing? What he did was move me in. What he did was bring his family around me. What he did was have me cooking for them all the time. What he did was pick me up from the airport every trip I went on. What he did was allow me to videotape us when we were out on our dates and showing PDA and allowing me to record that. That's what he did. His action said, you are my forever. That's what his action said. So if she caught him cheating, really? She can't be upset? Y'all got life messed up. And I don't be mad when them women be exposing y'all. I really wish we would call y'all out more, to be honest, because I've been telling hoes this. When I say hoes, I mean the dudes that are hoes, because most of y'all are hoes. Stop lying to women, because women go mess with you whether or not you tell them the truth or you lie, if they really want to mess with you. So why can't you say, yeah, I'm interested, but nothing serious, because I'm not going to be monogamous. That's not something I'm looking for right now. The woman is still going to mess with you. Now, I'm not saying she ain't going to be delusional and think that her pee is better than everybody else's, and somehow that's going to convince you to just be monogamous with her. Or she's going to gift you to death and think that that's going to win you over. Or she's going to just love bomb you and that's going to convince you. Or she'll baby trap you and that's going to convince you to choose her. Or I think I'm the baddest bitch you ever had, so you're going to choose me. That's going to happen. The women will be delusional. However, what they can't say is that you didn't tell them. And what they can't do is call you out when you get busted with somebody else. Right? They might say, oh my God, you was messing with so-and-so. Well, I did tell you I wasn't, And then now you don't have shit on your face looking like, ooh, because your comeback to that is, well, I never promised you anything. You didn't move in with him. You didn't say, can you be my girlfriend? You didn't do any of that. Just be freaking honest. How hard can that be to just say, hey, I just want to kick it, right? Because if you find she going to kick it anyway. It's the truth. Y'all be married and the women still kick it. How you think that they not gonna kick it with you and all you say is I ain't want nothing serious? Why would you think that they wouldn't kick it with you? Especially a woman of a particular age. Ain't nobody got time for that. You told me what it was. I understand that. I respect the truth. And most women do. Most women respect the truth. They may not like it, but they respect it. And we respect it up front. Give me mine as an appetizer. Don't try to serve it to me for dessert. Give me my truth up front. Don't on the back end be like, well, if I'm being honest. No, I want my honesty up front. And not only just honesty, I want transparency, because transparency means tell me up front, don't make me ask for it. Tell me what time it is before I even get down with the get down. That's all. I really don't think that that's hard. And that goes for the women too. I know plenty of women that lie. I know girls who've been dating 2, 3, 4 men at the same time. They never tell one of them and still acting like goody two shoes. And I ain't doing nothing, crying to one nigga about another nigga, but pretending that she crying about that nigga. Like that's just how women do it. And I feel the same way. Stop lying. Why you always lying? Like for what? I ain't never been scared. That's one thing. If y'all take anything from me, what can somebody do about you owning up to your truth? What can they do to you? I always feel like it's my job to get ahead of whatever it is that somebody can say about me. It's my job. It's my job to be upfront. I don't want nobody else telling my truth. I don't want nobody else trying to expose me. I would rather tell you what it is so that you can hear it from me and that everything is out there and you're not sitting here spinning your wheels trying to figure it out. And if you want to know, just ask me. I always tell you the truth. But the problem is, don't nobody want to hear it from you. But I ain't got no reason to lie, because what can you do to me about my truth? Yes, this is what I did. Yes, that is what I said. Yes, what's going to happen? You're going to be mad at me? Shit, you're going to be mad at me anyway. You're already mad at me because you heard that I said something or you heard that I did something. You ain't going to get, it's not going to get any worse. You're already pissed. You know what I'm saying? Or, hey, have you ever... I'd rather not say. Now that's me. Back in the day, I'm like, yeah. Now I'm just like, don't ask, don't tell. My new policy. But anyway, that's all I got today, y'all. I'm not going to belabor the point, but y'all understand what I'm getting at. Until next week, y'all. I'll holla. Bye.